Yeah.
That should be the opening. Just hearing Ryan laugh. Balls. Welcome to Welcome to Ride and Friends podcast.
Exactly.
Making self-deprecating jokes until people realize I'm not joking. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first debut, probably, episode of Ryan and Friends / Ryan Dunn Truth Teller. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll decide on the title by the time this is uploaded. But before we can upload this episode, I have to introduce today's two guests, the first of which is a playwright, a director, an actor, internationally produced, the new face of I don't know if I can say that, but we might edit that out. I don't know. Please give a virtual separated round of applause for Izzy Salant.
Woo! It's me.
Welcome to the show, Izzy.
We can't say that because
All right.
We shut down production on the video side of it for the foreseeable future. So let's go back and try that again.
Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome to whatever we end up calling this show. My name is Ryan Michael Dunn. I have some friends here. We're going to talk to them. We're going to hang out. Let's see how it goes. I'd like to introduce my first guest. He knows who he is. He's a very talented artist. He is Izzy Salant. Please come on. Come on.
Woo!
Come on.
That's me.
Yay,
I'm right
that's
here.
Izzy Salant. Let's see. This guy is a strong as fuck person, strong as fuck artist, playwright, director, actor, friend, funny guy, lover, so I'm told. That's Izzy Salant.
You've experienced it. What do you mean? So you've been told.
That's true. That's true. And in the other ring, in the other corner, graduating from Westford Academy in the year 2018. If I did that's probably right. That's probably right. Coming to Ithaca College, studying that theater, studying that psych, an accomplished director, writer, actor, all himself. Please join us, Michael Tricca.
But not lover, Ryan. But not lover. I thought you were going to say, I heard you say graduating from, and I was like, graduating from? And he was like, Westford Academy. I was like,
Yeah, I was about to weigh in. I'm like, that's like, you graduated
I thought
high
I was
school.
well past that.
Yeah, you
Dear
already
God,
graduated
don't
high
send
school.
me
There's something
back.
I missed.
Okay. I got it. I got 2018 though. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. No,
I don't know.
You nailed what it was. The confusion was mine. I was like, why are we talking about WA?
Yeah, I don't know why exactly. I was like putting together a list of accomplishments, and I was like, well, he's graduated high school.
Is there some like?
Well, you could say Eva Brown Award recipient.
Oh fuck.
The prestigious title known throughout the land.
That's true. I called you award winning, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you did.
I'm pretty sure
I did. Am I going to look back and check ever, even once this is done recording? No. Instead, I'm just pretty sure that I did.
Are there some like painful memories from high school that's like the reason that Michael Tricca was like, ooh, WA? Like I saw in his face and voice just mentioning Westford Academy just didn't sit right.
We'd be here all night.
We could be here all night unpacking
there
that
could
question.
Be a whole season of this show dedicated to Westford Academy.
Is there can I see how long I've been recording for? I wanted to know like
No.
all right, I'm just gonna start.
Unless if you were keeping time.
I am now.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everyone at home. Don't worry. I am now recording the time, taking note of the time.
Are we keeping this in? Is that gonna be everyone at home's gonna listen to the recording? Wow, he
Do a
kept
soft
in
fade.
he kept in the timing of the recording so that we could know. Instead of looking at our phones, now we know while I'm driving. I don't have to look so that I can continue to live in peace.
I am gonna every time I get a criticism like this on this show, I'm just gonna hold up a new beer to the camera and just take myself a little sip.
So, Michael, you and I were just given kind of a golden ticket because if every time we criticize Ryan, he has to drink.
To get Ryan.
No,
yeah.
no.
You know what,
no,
Ryan?
No.
The amount of handsome you are is a little offensive to me right now.
Yeah, Ryan.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Oh, well, all right. I'll drink for that one. Shit.
You should not have had two of your best friends for the inaugural episode because as much as we love you, it is more fun for us to make you do stuff like this. For example, Ryan, the wall behind you, due to my screen being a little dirty, looks like it has dirt on it. It doesn't. It's my particular computer screen, but that's a criticism I'm going to lobby at you because to me, personally, it looks a little dirty in the background because my monitor's dirty. You should drink to that.
Well, as the host of this show, I am final judge on these things, and that sounds pretty valid to me.
You know what, Izzy? When I wear a blindfold, I can't see you at all, and that kind of bothers me that you would just poof away like that.
Yeah, Ryan. Why would you have that on your show?
All right. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. You set me up for a great transition to explain a concept that I haven't fully worked out yet, but the general idea is as follows. As guests stay on the show and come back on the show, they can accrue, I don't know if it'll be points exactly, we'll just call it points for now. And once they get a certain number, like 1,000, then they get to force me to do something such as like the ALS ice bucket challenge. But
why was that the first thing you thought of?
What's wrong with it?
Nothing. It was just a very specific example.
Yeah, I mean that's the one that I thought of to explain this concept.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I understand it pretty clearly now.
Yeah, the idea being this should be up your alley, Izzy. Is it causes me suffering of some kind?
Oh, I know.
That causes you joy. Okay, great. Yeah, and the way that you get closer to that is either by revealing a very crazy secret that you have, something nuts that you're unveiling on the show, or you're sharing a particularly beautiful, it's kind of like inspiration in D&D for any of our listeners and or participants who understand what I'm talking about.
Question about the point system. Are these like real points, or is it like whose line is it anyway where the points don't matter?
I do plan to keep track of these.
Okay.
And I think at the end of the episode, I'll let you know. Yeah. Any questions about that? No questions?
No, and the fact that I don't have questions, the fact that I don't have any more questions is a valid criticism, Ryan. So yeah. I think you should drink to that.
Fuck. He's got me there.
We're not even going to get through the opening scene.
This show is a great start. I'm going to be blackout by the time we end the first segment. Speaking of segments, that's how I'm going to transition to establish that this is a new show. and we're here to have fun and hang out and chill with you. You being an eventual live component, you will exist. That's going to be
You
a
don't
blast.
yet at the time of listening.
You
You
don't
actually are just in the ethereal plane.
And if you're listening to this, if you're listening to this post recording, you don't exist either. We're telling you right now, you do not exist.
You are actually just something in my brain. But yeah, all I was going to say is there's going to be some different segments, and maybe the show will change forms and shapes a few times before we figure it out. But I just wanted to invite you along for the ride, you know? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna take it to a serious note for a little bit, for a couple seconds here, and just acknowledge again that you are both artists. And I wanted to talk to you each a little bit about what art means to you and how art has impacted your life in the most personal ways. I know that's a pretty big, like, whoa. Here's the question.
No, I got you.
Here's how we start the show. So um do you guys want like a few seconds to think?
I got it.
Oh shit. All right.
For me, it was, I mean, we gotta be ready to, especially as theater artists, where we can't even begin to be like, yes, this will make me wealthy and famous for pursuing it enough. We gotta be able to say immediately, like, yeah, I have a reason for doing this. I'm putting myself through this for a good reason. So for me, it was, hey, I gotta say it like it is. I gotta say it like it is.
Thanks, Tricca.
For me, it was, I'm saying about it, that's why we're investing in TV writing as well. But for me, it was must have been 8th grade. I started theater because a pretty girl that I had a crush on told me she thought I would like it. And another crush of mine was also in theater at the time, so I was like, why couldn't I give it a try? And I ended up doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and The Lottery. And I was like, this is pretty cool. What does it look like at the high school? Like, is it worth continuing to do this? And I saw Les Mis at the aforementioned Westford Academy. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. What an awesome show. Like, theater is really cool. I'll probably stick around with this. And then I had seen spectacle plays, and I had seen just cool design plays, fun plays. Then I saw the piece of theater that we were doing for, not we yet, that Westford Academy was doing for the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild Festival that year, called My Name is Osher Lev. And I walked out of that play changed from the person I was when I walked in. I was a different person when I left My Name is Osher Lev than when I walked in. And that is why I do theater, is the ability for that space and that form of art to truly reach out to people and compel them to discover new things about themselves, and to push them to aspire and to seek out these greater meanings that are present in the world. And I have been loving it ever since. That's me.
That is a lovely answer. Thank you so much for sharing that with Michael Tricca. Many points for that, I'm sure, as we figure out how to calculate this. Izzy?
Can I ask a question first?
Oh God. Jeez, I don't know.
It's not, we're on a serious topic, okay? If I wanted to ask stupid and weird questions, I would have done it much earlier on, which I already had and made you drink 3 times. So it was a genuine question for Michael Tricca.
Okay.
What was it about the play that changed you?
My Name is Asher Lev is about a young man who is an observant Jew, as he tells the audience. And it is him reconciling his deep commitment to his faith, or his deep background in his faith. The time he spent, I believe the correct term is like very orthodox, with his discovery that he wanted to be an artist. And like sometimes that means painting nudes of people. Sometimes that means like not choosing a path of tradition and security. And it was the momentum of this piece. All the festival pieces have to be 40 minutes or less. And it was the sense of momentum and the sense that it was driven and directed towards the audience. And it was a rumination of what art means for people and how art changes people, how we change our art, how we influence the art we make, our experiences, and how our art changes us. That I found extraordinary. It blew me away.
I need to read this play.
Incredible.
Oh yeah, Izzy, I definitely should have talked to you more about My Name is Asher Lev than I have. Like,
You should have talked to your Jewish friend who writes
Yeah.
about Jewish things that happen in the world about a Jewish play. I'm
I think
shocked.
you dig it.
dude,
Yeah.
if Michael hopefully maybe one day Mr. Michael Towers will watch this show, and when he realizes that I've barely said anything to my Jewish writing partner about My Name is Asher Lev, we'll cut this part out too, just to save my ass. We'll cut this out too. Don't worry.
No, keep it in.
You
I
know
want
what,
the
Ryan?
world to
I'm
know.
kidding.
I want the world to
And
know the day.
I'm going to leverage that as a criticism against you. So
Yeah, Ryan. That's two
why don't you
criticisms. One because Michael Tricca is upset you didn't mention it to me, and two because it's anti-Semitic and you need to.
Whoa. Izzy, can you please say for the lovely audience, can you explain?
Can I explain what anti-Semitism is, or can
you
I explain why I joked that what
I'm-
you did was
that I'm
anti-Semitic?
not say that I'm not anti-Semitic.
You are not anti-Semitic if you drink. Yeah.
Yay.
Are you gonna share about?
Yeah, I'm gonna share.
Okay.
I love you guys. Okay, how did I get into theater art? So performing has always been a huge aspect of my life from an early age. Whether it was singing, whether it was being in concerts, whether it was doing magic, I've always enjoyed it. And I remember in 5th grade, right after my mother passed away, getting the lead role in our school musical called We Has Jazz, which was about a bunch of famous jazz musicians. And everyone except for one person in that cast was white. So looking back on it now, there were some problems there, but we were all 10. So we didn't really understand the racial implications that came with that. Anywho.
You're not judged on this show, Izzy.
Thank you. But as time went on and as I started to continue to perform and to do everything, I realized one major thing, whether it's performing magic, acting, writing, whatever, I get the sense of escape. And I get this feeling of whatever the moment is that I'm dealing with, whether it's a breakup, whether there's another death in the family, whether I'm just having a bad time, whether something's going on that I can't control. For that hour I'm on stage, for that 5 minutes I'm doing a magic trick, for the 2 hours and 30 minutes a day that I write, whatever it is, I can escape. And by performing and by doing theater and by doing these other aspects, I can help other people escape too. And that's really a driving force. I love to tell stories. I want to tell stories that need to be told. It's my goal in life. And if I can do that while also helping an audience of even 2, I don't care how big the audience is, escape for however long it is, I've done my job. And I feel that theater, more so than many other mediums, allows you to do that because of the intimacy of live performance, right? Even doing magic for a massive crowd, it's still a person directly talking to you versus sitting in a giant theater watching a blockbuster. Don't get me wrong. I love movies. I think movies have so much power in them. I think there's definitely escapism within that. But the fact is, I feel a way that I feel when I'm doing live performance and when I'm in theater that I don't really get anywhere else. In terms of writing, I used to say that about my acting. I used to say, I get this thing from acting that I never feel, that I don't feel from writing. I don't even feel from doing magic. I don't feel from anything else I do. I don't remember exactly when it happened, but it was in college where it just kind of switched. And immediately I started getting more of that feeling from writing than I did from performing. Don't get me wrong, I still love to perform, and doing magic is still great, acting is still great. But sitting at a computer and writing for 4 hours and not realizing I had written for 4 hours, especially if I like don't have other responsibilities, if I don't finish it being like, oh no, I didn't get to do this. If I finish it knowing I've accomplished something, that's just one of the greatest feelings in the world. Thank you for the nods of agreement, Michael Tricca. It is huge validation. That's not sarcasm. Like, it's actually really big validation.
No, totally.
Was there a particular project where you found the time slip away like that in particular?
I mean, one of them is Peace Talks, which Ryan and I are still working on. But I think the first project that I truly felt time slip away was when I wrote my first draft of Rite of Passage, which it's now 120 pages and has gone through substantial rewrites. I've been working on it for 5 years. But in 2016, I wrote it as a 70-page draft, and I knocked out like an entire act in 2 days. And I just let time slip away, and I finished it. I was like, wow, I wrote an act of a play. And it was that moment, especially in the same playwriting class that I felt I wasn't good enough in, that I was like, yeah, no, this is what I want to do. And I want to add one more thing onto it. Because I tell stories that need to be told, I always want to tell stories with an aspect of my life in them, or something that I hold dear, something that I find to be interesting on stage. So as someone who's had a death in their family, who is Jewish and has autism, by the way, I am Jewish and have autism. The death in my family was Jewish. They did not have, just want to clarify that for people. I'll start over. We can edit that. As someone who's had a death in their family, and I am Jewish and autistic, every single one of my plays and stories has a character that's either a ghost, Jewish, autistic, or some combination of them, whether one character is all three, whether there's both or all three types of characters in the show, whether it's just one of them. I always try to include in there because I believe that that's stuff that I want to see on stage.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've heard you talk before, Izzy, about how you need to tell stories that need to be told, and that's a big part of your artistic vision, is that there are stories that need to be told. And what do you think about that idea, Michael? Because that's a conversation that Izzy and I have had recently.
I mean, I think it's exactly on point. It's like the fact that, Izzy, you are centering your plays around identities that are really meaningful to you, that you want to represent. Like, that's the type of thing where, I don't know, I think that we're seeing more and more there is this question of, when it comes to different identities and appearing in plays, sometimes, or not even plays, but in like more in mainstream media, sometimes there's this question of, yeah, but do they mean it though? Like when they write this character in. And I've always really, or I have a real appreciation for when people of diverse backgrounds are the ones that are writing themselves into these pieces. And people who have these experiences that are then having the opportunity and taking the opportunity to channel it through a very powerful medium that we have. So the fact that you are making a point of writing art that speaks to you is awesome. Is really awesome.
I want to compliment Michael Tricca as well, because as much as I thoroughly enjoyed the validation and the compliments, I've read a lot of Michael Tricca's work, and everything I've read by him is phenomenal.
Huh.
Whether it's gut wrenching, whether it's hilarious. I mean, I remember Ryan and I literally were just talking. They were hanging out, and I'm all the way in LA, so they were FaceTiming me. You guys were FaceTiming me. I don't know why I'm saying they. Like, I'm not talking to the audience. I'm talking to you two right now. And they're like, Izzy, gotta read this. And we jumped on. It's called What Do We Do with the Plane? We don't have to talk about the whole thing, but I was dying, and it was just so great to be in a space of people that are writers, actors, and just love theater and art. And Ryan, another reason I'm so glad you had us on this show today, and it's going to keep going because we have a lot more to do, is it's just three friends fucking around and like enjoying ourselves. And that's so needed right now. Like, God damn it.
That is so needed. Yeah. I mean, hopefully, this takes a greater, more concrete form than I have in mind right now. But yeah, totally, Izzy. Like, just the three bros, the three amigos, having some pals on, just shooting the shit, and maybe there's some spicy questions that I ask partway through. Could be maybe we'll see how that ends up, but that's the idea. And it's just really nice to, like, I love the idea that I can be at work, and then at the end of a long day, I could come home, put on some nicer clothes, and like come on here and do a show.
Put on a dapper, handsome vest jacket.
That's the dream,
Here,
baby.
I'll take this off so you can feel more dressed.
I couldn't take that from you.
Okay, well, if you really want to know, I'm wearing short sleeves underneath it, and the inside's making part of my arms itchy, so it was just getting uncomfortable.
There you go.
And that's a criticism, Ryan. I wore a suit for your show.
Wow,
and my
Ryan.
arms were itchy.
Wow.
All right, awesome. So now that the audience has gotten to know you a little bit better, we have an advice section, the advice segment. We'll have a fun name for this. These questions, by the way, I did not come up with. They're not mine. I won't tell you where exactly these questions are coming from.
Wait, what?
But these questions are not mine. We're gonna start with Dear Michael and Izzy.
Hang on, were these questions that were designed for us, or are they just random questions
that you then added Dear Michael and Izzy to?
These are random questions that I added Michael and Izzy to.
Okay. I was about to say, wow, if you are hand-picking your interrogations like this.
you really went all out for the first episode.
Dear Michael and Izzy, I've been dating this guy for almost a year, and our anniversary is coming up soon. I've met someone else and want to end it. My question is, do I do it before or after the anniversary?
Hang on. I've met someone else. That's the only qualifier. What shocks me isn't the fact that it's like, yeah, I feel this real connection with this other person. Like, the dynamics of the relationship just work better for both of us. It's just like, I met someone else. This is what the hell? What?
If someone's feeling that they want to move on from somebody else just because they met somebody else, they didn't add anything else, they just added that, as you're saying, Michael, that means like two major things. First off, that they like are subconsciously even wanting to get out of the relationship to begin with. If the second you're like, I met someone else, boom, I want to end it, that's like there's something else indicative going on there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a relationship I've had.
Two, if there isn't, Jesus Christ.
Been on the receiving end of, I should specify, not the person who met the other person.
Oof. Do you wanna tell that story?
Nah, keep going, Izzy.
You mean you don't want any more points, Michael? You'd get some pretty good points.
We'll get into it later. We'll get into it in the future, but for now.
But number two, if there isn't something else indicative going on in the relationship there, then whoever the person's dating, the guy that the person is dating, like, he needs to get out of there, because if there isn't any problems in the relationship and his partner is saying, I met someone else and I want to end it, like that's a pretty big switch. To the person that is actually asking the question, I would say before, because if you're saying you want, not you're having thoughts of ending it, right? There's a clear difference there. You say, I want to end it. Why stay longer unless you're having doubts about it? In which case, don't end it to begin with. But if you're having doubts and you want to end it, why wait even longer? That's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them, because then you just continue to be with them for a longer time in a relationship that is loveless, or at least one-sided. Like, why would you continue to stay in that relationship? Just end it. It's also worse after a year, right? Like at that point, like you reach the year milestone, like it's even more heartbreaking. At least beforehand, you can be like, yeah, we didn't even make it to a year. But like
that's exactly what I was gonna add. Was like it'll be the I was with this person for a year. A whole year. It's like, oh, don't be the one who lasted a year and then.
I have been on the receiving end of getting dumped and having a whole year. That's a nasty feeling, man. Get it out before the end of the year.
Fuck it. Huge flex. Break up on the anniversary. Huge flex.
Huge flex.
Big,
Mid-sex. Just 1 year anniversary. One person says, I love you. I think we should see other people.
I'm in the process of getting tailor-made questions for you both, by the way.
You're texting people right now to do that?
Oh my God.
Yes.
You know, like, I don't know if we're gonna, like, I know you're gonna rotate around some of your friends, but like, if we're on like most of the weeks, like collect some of them and then surprise us. If we're not on most of the weeks, then that's a criticism, because I want to be on most of the weeks, in which case drink.
Thank you.
I do think it would be fun for people to meet us, and then when we rotate, for our voices to carry over, interrogating these other people that we know that are on the show in a particular week.
I love when you bring more people on to see them do impressions of me and Michael. See what happens.
Oh my God.
Okay, I can be taking notes as we do this. I should get people to do impressions.
Oh, I was kidding, but like,
okay, but I don't know. Would you?
I'm into it.
You're into it.
I feel like impressions are the type of thing that people won't get unless if they've seen all the episodes. You know, it's like do an impression of these people that we know that the audience may not have seen.
True.
Seen all the episodes. There's been one, and it's this one.
Maybe it's a season 2 kind of thing. I'm just looking for the most creative ways to make fun of Izzy on this show, and
it's not hard. Just my existence is joke enough. Like, you're good. Making self-deprecating jokes until people realize I'm not joking. Dun, 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 dun.
We're gonna have to figure out the licensing with that song.
It was off key.
Dear Michael and
made
Izzy,
up on the spot.
What's the biggest romantic gesture you've ever done?
The biggest romantic gesture we've ever given?
Like in real life or in a play?
In real life.
Oh, geez. I guess we're both shitty boyfriends. No,
to any of my exes who are listening to this right now, why?
To any of my exes who are listening to this right now, thank you. I've learned so much from you. I mean that in a good way for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part.
To any of my exes, I'll be real. I definitely fucked up some of those relationships. You
Oh.
guys, like,
I definitely fucked up some of my relationships. My God.
totally on me.
If it get to the point where I would tell my parents I was dating someone new, and the first question wasn't like, oh, what's she like, or is she Jewish? Like, it wasn't any of that. It was, are you sure? Except for my most recent girlfriend, we've since broken up, but like it was actually like a nice, healthy relationship. My other relationships weren't exactly good and healthy and, beneficial. They were short bursts of explosions that were either really nice in the moment or not, and ended in a dumpster fire, except for one of them, which we're still friends.
That passionate love, yeah.
Sure, let's go with that.
The candle that burns brightest,
burns bright
quickest.
and then engulfs everything in flames. Romantic thing I've ever done. Michael, you go first. Like, I can't.
Why are you making me go first?
Because I'm trying to figure out a romantic thing I did that was like actually really nice and romantic. Because a lot of times I would like plan to do stuff and then we'd break up before it could happen. Ooh. And so like I couldn't actually do. So I can't be like, I had planned this beautiful picnic day out and we were going to go to the mountains and it was going to be great. Only to be like, yeah, we broke up 2 weeks before I had plans. Like that's not a good romantic thing.
Well, here's something that's like potentially in the getting deep side of things. If I were to say something not off the top of my head, because we've been thinking about it for a couple minutes, but the thing that occurs to me first would be a set of playlists I made for a person that I think were pretty thoughtful playlists, which sounds so lame. Like, I'm a 21-year-old person. I've had the chance to gone on a few hikes with people, but one of the things that
let's just say he's gone on a few hikes with people.
I've gone on a bunch of hikes. I do love a good hike.
Yeah.
There's so much more innuendo than there needs to be on the word hike every time you both just said it. My God.
Well, I mean, it depends. It depends. But my point is, I was told once that that was a cause for frustration for what was a very good relationship of mine, because of the degree to which we communicated was something new for me. But this person told me once, like, he was like, I feel like on the day-to-day we have something wonderful, but like I'd love if you like took me on a date and like did such an like if we did something that was specifically, because we didn't make a habit of like, oh, let's go to a restaurant, I'll get you flowers, and at first I liked to brush it off as the like, oh, I'm a pragmatic, like I'm just a solid person to be with on the day-to-day. But like that type of, yes, it is, that aspect of a relationship is essential, being able to have that connection with a person where you want to be around them in a casual context on the day-to-day. But that was something big that I learned as well, is that it's most of the time I'd say it's important to have some form of gesture. It's important to invest in like these romantic moves, if not just because like it's a good thing to do and it demonstrates to the person that they are specifically special more than simply a friend with an element of physical intimacy. Like that, I'd say, is a big thing. Also, in terms of the psychology of it, like surprises, what's the word I'm looking for? Surprises keep people engaged more. Like that's simply a good way to keep someone's interest, is to surprise them every once in a while with a fun surprise. If you want to be a cynic,
umbilical cord dripping in the
right.
Like, Izzy's fucking face.
Not a like
What?
beating out the door with a
No, no,
knife.
no, no, no,
Nothing
no,
like
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no. We're not gonna move past this. Like we did not just hear those words.
Ryan, I'm
sorry.
gonna criticize you for putting that
Michael
imagery in my
Tricca
head.
says you always need to have a surprise. And your first thing, your first comment, I don't mean like a string of comments. I mean the first comment, everyone here can hear this, was about an umbilical cord. Why?
Taken to task. I don't know why my brain works the
I was
way.
like, yeah, where'd that come
Drink,
from?
motherfucker, drink.
Okay, fuck, I should.
That's not a sip. That's a kill the beer and think about what you've done. He fucking did it. He did it.
Oh boy.
I've lost control of my show.
You lost control of your show the
doing.
second you had us be your first two guests.
That's true. That's true. It was a risky move. It certainly was a risky.
Yeah, you know what that is, Ryan? You know what that sounds like to me? Another criticism for poor judgment.
Second beer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of Title of Show, we have our very second ever host beer.
I'm worried there's gonna be one week where you have two, like we're all friends, but like we definitely have more like less forward friends and more like very passive style personality friends. And it's gonna be like a whole episode of you like asking questions, like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, but tell us more. Yeah, I had a good day.
I know. Not everyone is as like conversational as others, and like, you know, I still want to have those more the Shire homies on the show. Shire homies, short kings, they all belong here on Title of Show.
Are we calling it Title of Show, or are we still
No.
gonna call it Ryan and Friends?
Maybe let's go with Ryan and Friends for now.
Let's keep
That's what I thought we were calling it.
You know what it is? It's because I talked to my mom about it, and I told my mom that I was having you guys on for my first episode of my show. And then when she asked what it was called, and I told her Ryan and Friends, she made this face. And
Cheryl.
but I came up with the name. It wasn't even your idea. I was like, let's call it Ryan and Friends.
I know. She wanted to call it Ryan Truth Teller or Ryan Dunn Truth Teller. She really liked that idea. Okay.
Ryan, I love the idea, Brian, before you continue, that Izzy, you just gave Ryan the excuse to be like, yeah, but Izzy said it like
I want to give him the
Ryan's making an official statement before the United Nations, and he's like, yeah, I think that in terms of Israel and Palestine, like, I mean, why shouldn't the Palestinians have the country? And then he'd look around and be like, oh, did we not look, Izzy told me to say it. So like,
why did we start bringing Israel and Palestine into this?
Well, there's a play.
There is a play about it. The play's
currently
not arguing one way or another. The play's like, hey, the conflict is really complicated. Let's talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and I'm not
I don't want to
that,
be the one blamed for the other side of it. That's like the point of the play, is to not do that.
To be clear for our audience, my statement was not that any of us have a definitive opinion on that I'm aware of, aside from it's complicated. The opinion was, the idea was,
there should be a 8 million state solution, and every Israeli and Palestinian should have their own country in a 5 by 5 square foot of land.
All right. Okay. Next question in our advice segment. We got 2 more. Dear Michael and Izzy, have you ever tried to make your ex jealous? And if so, how? And have you used people in the process?
Who sent in this question? My
I know
goodness.
it was not me. It was not me who made this up.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, totally. You're allowed
Have
to.
I ever tried to make an ex?
Have I ever tried to make an ex jealous? Hell yeah.
I will.
Have I ever?
I definitely have tried to make exes jealous.
Have I used people in the process? Hell yeah. Did I tell them that was happening? Hell yeah. Am I going to disclose what I did? No.
No.
I don't think that's something I've done. I think I can say that's not something I've done. To balance it out so I'm not just sounding like I'm just Mr. Goody Two Shoes. There was a time where I had two relationships overlapping in my freshman into sophomore year of high school because
Tricca.
because the first person obviously wasn't into me, didn't particularly care about me, and I was starting to feel something that, oh, is this more than friendship with this other person? So no, I don't believe I've tried to leverage jealousy or anything.
That's good. That's good. Damn, I have to say, as soon as I said that one out loud, I was like, whoa. I really fucking put them on the spot with, with this one. Oh, damn.
You know what that is, Ryan? A criticism.
A criticism. Ryan's probably regretting making that a staple of the show, and it probably won't appear in future episodes. But while it's here in this episode, we're going to take full advantage of it.
Yeah, I'll have to come up with a clause at the end of this. Stop.
How many beers did you bring?
I only have 2 on the table, and I'm probably too lazy to go get a third. So. Only so many criticisms left. I'll start taking lighter sips.
So you're just like licking the bottle cap to get like the last 7 minutes.
Here we go. This one was selected for the 2 of you. Okay. Dear Michael and Izzy, 3 months ago, I started dating this really hot girl and we connected instantly. I thought she was the one, but in the last 3 months, she's gained 20 pounds and I'm not attracted to her anymore. How do I explain when I'm breaking up with her?
I know who this is.
You know,
I don't know who this is.
Of course I know who it is.
I don't.
Oh my God. I would tell this person that if the reason they started a factor in why they started dating someone is their weight, then they should find a different metric to evaluate their relationships. And here's the thing is I think, and then I'll stop interrupting. I think that there's an element to which physical attraction in a relationship is important, but not in the sense that I feel like it should be a deal breaker, and not in that people aren't allowed to like be humans and go through changes and experience changes. And the fact that that is an evaluating factor, like, come on, dude.
Here's the thing. If you're not attracted to somebody, you don't have to date them. There's no law in this country that forces you to date people you don't want to date. And if there is, that needs to be changed. But there isn't, right? You don't have to do that. However, this person goes, I thought she was the one, and then she gained 20 pounds and I'm not attracted to her anymore. Like, the fact of the matter is, if someone's the one, then when they wake up in the morning and hair is completely a mess and they literally look like death when they're sick and everything,
they're still the one.
Or you still love them, you still have this overwhelming desire to be with this person, then they're the one. If this person was into this person because of their weight and their looks and now they're not attracted, like, look, it's shallow, but again, like, you're allowed to date who you want to date. Like, it's stupid, and this guy, like, you know, whoever the person is like I guess like it's his personal preference, but also, like, why mention that? Like, just say I'm not into her anymore. Like, whatever. It's weird that's the person, that's what the person is saying. but the person's not the one if gaining 20 pounds makes you be like, I'm not into them at all.
Yeah, that was definitely my thought too when I first read this.
When you use this language, the one, which when I gave my first response to this, I forgot that I used the language, the one. When I hear that, it demonstrates to me that this change indicates to me that you have made and you have correlated a person's weight with their personality or who they are, which is a fallacy, plain and simple. There are a lot of factors within and without a person's control. And if you're, that's, I don't think there's a lot more to say than that. Like if you're saying this person is the one and then you are making a qualitative statement about who they are, based on an external physical attribute, which isn't going to get you anywhere.
Right.
And I would ask you to evaluate what you're actually looking for in a partner. Mr. Random caller into this show that
we aren't. I'm gonna also copy Michael. I'm gonna come closer to the.
And I'd say figure out what's important to you.
I'm just gonna join in here.
We're gonna join in.
Yeah, let's spend a few moments here.
Everyone, big eyes, and yo, look at Ryan's smolder right now.
Mr.
Look at Ryan's smolder right now.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
No, but my final thoughts on this is, everything we've said tonight, some people are going to agree with some of the stuff we said. Some people are not going to agree with some of the stuff we said. The biggest takeaway is if something that short, that's not like a big deal in somebody's life, makes you completely reevaluate your relationship, they weren't the one to begin with. And the fact is, this guy needs to take a long, hard look at himself or herself or whoever it was, because we don't actually know the gender of the person who said it, and they just said they've been dating this girl for a while. And they need to be like, why was I so quick to no longer be into this person from a weight gain?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what this conversation is making me realize is, holy shit, I gotta get some women on this guest list that I have.
Yeah.
That I'm setting.
That's the other thing. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't feel any desire to pretend I'm any authority on women's bodies. No, no, thank you.
No, fuck that. You heard it here first, ladies and gents. This show is, pro diversity. Let's get some women.
What? Why do you have to say that? Why do you say? No one who ever says this show is pro blank is doing it for. It's like when someone says I'm not racist, but it's never followed by something.
No,
followed by something that isn't racist.
Saying we're pro diversity is not that bad. It's not
I know.
on that level.
But just on the topic of it, no one's ever said I'm not racist, but bowling's really fun. That's never been a sentence that anyone's. It's always followed by something racist.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. I'm gonna invite more women on this show than I currently have written down.
I hope so.
Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, hold on. There's a mosquito in my room.
Oh my goodness.
Got him.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. Michael Tricca is good at catching mosquitoes.
Some little sucker had been biting me, and he revealed himself for too long.
Damn. And that was his mistake.
Yeah.
All right. I love how we did this, guys. I had loose plans for how to do this, but I kind of tried to just let conversations happen where conversations seem to be happening. And I think we're approaching the end of a successful first episode. All that's left to do now is read the Mr. Clean script.
Let's
God.
do it. Ryan, do you want to introduce what this segment is?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. This segment is the bad plays segment, where we're gonna look back at really bad writing that we did from a long time ago and make fun of how bad it is. We're not making fun of other people. This is all us making fun of ourselves in good humor. And I got really sassy over the summer and was cooped up in quarantine,
No.
and there was a certain play recipe festival that I submitted to and did not get chosen, and then I got a little bit spicy, and then I wrote this for my second submission. Let's see. Izzy, can you please read for Alexander William St. Pierre?
Alexander. This play, dude. Oh, we're gonna get our asses handed to us.
I know. And I can be stage directions.
Wait, who's reading? Who
Oh, I'm
else?
sorry. Mr. Mr. Tricca, will you be Mr. Clean?
Yes. Who's arugula?
And I'll be arugula.
Excellent.
Okay.
Since this is a video podcast as well, Ryan, do you want to like share your screen as well so people can follow along?
No.
Okay. Okay, we'll just shoot that idea down. Okay.
No, that's a good idea. They probably should. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm reading ahead a little bit.
just because, Ryan, like you're playing stage directions and arugula, and because this is a bad play on purpose, I don't know how much we're gonna get into character, but people might get confused what is stage directions and what is lettuce.
Nice.
Clean getaway.
Nice.
All right, Rye, take us home.
Okay. A clean getaway. Scene: a Manhattan penthouse, early Saturday morning as the sun is rising. Jesus Christ, this is so much.
Maybe.
Enter Alexander William St. Pierre, actor, waving majestically in the wind as he walks nude onto his balcony. There he is greeted by a voluptuous maiden who sensationally disrobes.
I have to say this.
Yeah.
Ariana, supple as ever.
The woman, arugula, gives Alexander William St. Pierre a sly smile. Need mine supple flesh like used Play-Doh, you filthy boy.
Why?
A sturdily built, bald man of undiscernible age appears behind Alexander William St. Pierre.
So the rumors are true. You know what I have to do to filthy boys, don't you, Alexander?
Why, Ryan? Why?
I know, furrows his timeless brow as Alexander William St. Pierre sputters out a shaky response.
Mr. Clean, this isn't what it looks like. I'm only a dirty boy in the figurative sense. I can assure you I wash my balls in a very strict schedule.
Mr. Clean shakes his head with a knowing scowl and reveals a lasso he's been hiding behind his back. With one swift motion, he lassos Alexander William St. Pierre's large penis and balls.
Ryan, you wrote this. Why are you surprised? You wrote this.
I know, it just broke me. He lassos Alexander William St. Pierre's large penis and balls with the skill of a practiced champion. He tugs upwards to inspect the shaft. Mr. Clean is shocked. Suddenly, he hears chuckling. He looks up just in time to catch a glimpse of Alexander William St. Pierre's face as he hears his final words.
Do I say this or is Mr. Clean?
This This is you, is.
I'm also locked.
You
up in
fell
my
for it,
spirit.
fool! Thundercross split attack!
With all the speed of 1,000 stallions rushing across the plains of Mongolia, Alexander William St. Pierre swings his substantial phallus at the unguarded neck of Mr. Clean. With no time to dodge, Clean is swiftly relieved of his spotless head as soapy bodily fluids spew forth from what was once the crest of his neck. His headless body drops to the floor amongst the suds, finally laid to rest after all those eons.
So we
And-
can't put this in the podcast. We can't. We can't. I'm already probably going to
Alternatively,
get grilled. We're
we
already
can.
probably going to get grilled on talking about people's bodies and sexual preferences. And now we read.
He
The Queen
lassos
get away.
Alexander William St. Pierre's large penis involved.
With the skill of a practiced champion. Ryan, I have a question. Are you okay?
It takes practice, boys. What can I say? Can I not air this, Izzy? Do I have to cut the Mr. Clean segments?
What do we think, Michael Tricca?
Why not? I mean, I guess it would need to be very clear to people that they know what they're getting into with this. Like,
This show.
That should be
Yeah.
the opening. Just hearing Ryan laugh. F***ing balls. Welcome to Welcome to Ride and Friends podcast.
Exactly. I'll just put a disclaimer at the beginning. That's like,
Mr. Clean gets fucking decapitated.
yeah, we kill off Mr. Clean in this one.
Like Mr. Peanut. His legendary
And then he has a
sacrifice.
kid who's like already 21 now.
I guess. That was wild, huh?
Is there any advice for the audience for this coming week that you want to impart them with as you part ways?
Tell stories that need to be told in every aspect of your life.
Yeah. And here's something that I also want to make clear to people listening. Yeah, tell stories that you feel need to be heard, tell stories that relate to you. And also, I mean, I speak as someone who is white, cisgender, male identifying, straight passing. There's also an element of that doesn't mean for the other people like me out there in similar situations as me to not write with a diverse array of people in your stories, because only writing white, straight, male, cisgender people would again, it's not capturing the world we live in necessarily, unless if there is a specific story in that is specific to you and meaningful to you. It means that when you are going to tell stories that are honest to what you want to represent, I think, and be willing to give a real strong examination of what it means to be outside what your experience is, and be very intentional about how you approach that and how you choose to represent people, and don't just do it in a vacuum, because this world of ours is one of many people, and yeah, there are lots of stories to be told.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. As always, well, I guess you wouldn't know this since this is the first episode, but
As always.
going forth, as always, we will be taking your questions, answering your questions on the shows, reading your comments on air. It's all coming. It's all going down. I love my guests. Thank you so much for coming. I love my audience.
Love you too, Ryan.
And
We
will
love
see
you.
next time.